Want everybody to wave? Ready? Oh, here we go.
Where does yesterday's future meet today?
Here we go.
He's right here, right now. Here's Buddy D. Where does yesterday's future land? When it finally shakes your hand, right at the edge of a brand new screen. Blink once and you know what I mean. The old world folds into a spark, one little switch in the dark, and tomorrow's knocking, just minutes away. Can you hear it rocking? Can you hear it say, technology evolution, future of now, future of now, the future
It's almost
of
over.
now.
I just love the music. There we go.
Here's Buddy D.
Here's Bonnie D. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Technology Revolution, the Future of Now, and I'm about to introduce a topic I have never exactly done on this show in all these years. All of you out there remember books from your childhood, don't you? You probably have a couple of them saved on your bookshelf. Some fantasy books, some animal books, some adventurers books. I read a lot. I belonged to the Book of the Month Club my parents enrolled me in when I was like 8 or 9 or 10. And a book arrived every month, and it was great. I read biographies, I read adventures, and it was fun. Well, we're going to talk today about what today's authors are doing to create books for children that are age appropriate, reading level appropriate, character, and what does the word appropriate even mean? And then the big question, because this is Technology Revolution, the future of now, is are they using AI as a support collaborative tool? That's what we want to know. But they're only here because they do their own writing, and that's the key. So without further ado, I'm going to start the introductions. We have two authors who've been on my shows before, and one brand new one. I won't call him a Technology Revolution virgin because it might upset him, but I think he knows the word. So here we go. Welcome to Technology Revolution, the future of now, where AI meets innovation. We'll explore the how. Bonnie D on her Scarlett Mic is leading the way. The future of children's book authors and AI. Story time is today's display. Oh, they're going to read from the books, by the way. Wave when I call your name. Charles Breakfield is back. Diann Floyd Boehm is back. Boehm is back. And Stephen S.A. Schneider is here. Predicting AI's help in researching kids' interests, reading levels, and future frontiers, helping to align vocabulary and crafting characters for young readers at every stage, collaborating with, but not replacing, the human authors who are writing each page. And now here I have a special introduction for each of you. I hope you enjoy it. Charles, this is the 99th time I've had to redo this, but every time you're here, it's fresh. So here we go. By day, a data and telecom architect on digital's front line, Charles designs secure systems where networks must align. From cybersecurity to blockchain, unified comms are in play. He's tracked emerging technology and its risks year by year, day by day. With AI roots in early security work long before the buzz, he's watched smart systems grow to what is from what was. That hard-won insight powers his Enigma thriller series pace, where cyber threats strike close and no one's safe in the chase. Now, he's here again today because he's written a children's tale your kids will want to own. I Never Told You But, The Misadventures of Trevor and Simone. See how I did that, Charles? Owen and Simone?
Yeah.
Where wisdom meets mischief on their growing up route. I had to say route, you'll hear why. With laughter, lessons, and lots of oops to boot. Welcome back, Charles. I hope you enjoyed that one.
That was delightful, Bonnie.
I'm glad. I've never gotten a delightful from you. Diann is next. Born in Tulsa and raised in Texas with 5 brothers by her side, Diann found in stories a lifelong source of joy and lifelong guide. Acting, singing, imagination captured her soul from the start, discovering every tale could also touch another one's heart. An educator long before technology became today's norm, Diann embraced computers early, helping students learn and transform. Humanitarian travels proved stories build bridges wherever she'd go, magically adding hope, understanding, and kindness in their gentle flow. From Moonlings to Boomer Bunny, her delightful characters come alive, encouraging children to dream, believe, imagine, and to thrive. Diann appreciates technology and creativity working hand in hand, so timeless stories inspire young readers to let their life dreams expand. Diann, I hope you enjoyed that.
Wow, thank you so much.
You're
Amazing.
welcome. I had to do a new one for you too. And Stephen is here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're a newcomer. I'm so happy to meet you. And apparently the wolf is outside safely.
Yes.
But we don't want him destroying anything. Here we go. Growing up in Northeast Ohio, Scout backpacking adventures filled Stephen's page. Then after high school, computer science and music became his stage. Programming, storytelling, and creativity all combined, building websites and coding apps, satisfying his curious mind. As his daughter's scout leader, he saw girls needed stories of their own. So he wrote about young heroines whose courage was surely shown. Today he teaches children how storytelling and video games unite, blending art, music, coding, and imagination in a recipe just right. From town musician to oddish questors, his adventures come alive, encouraging young readers and future game creators to imagine and to thrive. Technology becomes a toolkit where young creators find their voice, showing every child the power of imagination and the excitement of creative choice. Stephen, I hope you enjoyed that.
Nice. Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so let me finish. The show's over, by the way. With these vision-rich panelists, the future burns bright as AI supports children book authors with age-level insight. From kid-inspired plot lines to unique characters writ large, we'll see how AI aids their process so the human authors stay in charge. So, kids, how'd I do? What'd you think? Diann? Good?
Fantastic. You're just amazing.
Oh, thank you. Charles, I don't have to say anything. You're right. He was on already last week. Stephen, do I get an applause?
Yes. Yay.
I saw you clapping. I don't think anybody will ever introduce you quite the way I do. And by the way, I want to do a shout out. Stephen and Diann come to us courtesy of Mickey Mickelson at Creative Edge PR in Canada. And Charles comes to us courtesy of Charles. There you go. Okay, there we go. So let's go on with the show. I'd like to do the reading now. So Charles, what I'm going to do is put you on speaker view. You're up first, and I'd like you to show us the cover of your new book and do a little bit of a reading. Or wait a minute, do you want to do a roll? Show us the book. Hold it right under your chin there. There we go. I never told you, but I see Trevor and Simone in the tent. And you want to do a roll-in of a video? Yes?
Yeah, can you let me
I will let
share?
you. I'm getting rid of my computer sound is no longer on now. Well, it was the music roll-in. And you can hit Zoom share and go ahead.
Okay. We want to do share sound.
I think you want to do share video. It might be under more or advanced.
Well, the share options, it's the share sound optimized for video and share. So
Whatever
I'm
you
ready.
think is going to work is fine. Yes.
What's wrong, Simone?
I'm Trevor. I want to learn to ride a bicycle like you. Boss told me I must use the training wheels until I get good enough. I don't want to use the training wheels because they are only for little kids. I'm too big for them.
I never told you, but that's how I learned to ride. They aren't so bad and they protect you from getting hurt. When you learn to balance on two wheels, you'll never forget. That first time you ride without them is scary. I admit my forehead imprinted on several trees and bushes in the cul-de-sac. Don't be in too big of a hurry to have just two wheels.
I've been practicing every day for a week here where no one could see me using them. I say I'm ready. Please, come on. Help me take those little kid things off my bike. I want to graduate to two wheels today.
This is how we always end up in trouble. I'll be right there, my adorable sister. I'm stopping to load up on Band-Aids and ointment. Hey, where's your helmet? We're not doing this without a helmet.
Do I have to? You don't wear a helmet when you ride with the other kids.
This is not me taking off the safety wheels, it's you. Minimum head protection is important. I'll overlook the fact you don't have on a rhinoceros hide skin covering stretched over body armor for this exercise. I wish we had some flame retardant clothing for extra protection.
I'm not driving in a NASCAR race, Trev. When you get the training wheels off, I'll be riding a bicycle.
Charles,
Yeah.
phenomenal. Beautifully done. Just I'm looking for, I've got to go back and share and get my sound back on. Is anybody else going to do a video share? Diane or Stephen? No? All right, let me
No.
go get
Yeah.
my,
So let me give you the backstory about that. I'm a storyteller. I like telling stories, and we've reached the that level, in my estimation, that storytelling is probably enhanced and pushed forward with more immersive type styles. And this was that proof point that I wanted to share with you and the audience, Bonnie, is that how do you take a story that was crafted by me and turn it into something a little more immersive for the kids who don't have a parent to read to them, or if you're going to read to them, this is the kind of stories that I would have liked to have had read to my girls when they were growing up.
I found it. That's for you, dear. That's for you. There we go. Enough applause. All right, kids, calm down. See, the kids appreciated it too. May I ask, would you like to tell us the secret of what app you used to create that wonderful video?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite ones. It's in video. It's actually hosted by the company NVIDIA. But in video has they've got several different motifs. It keeps morphing all the way along. Basically, what it did was I took a short chapter that was fun, and then give it said, here, give me a story, and I described the kids, so I get the right kind of graphics from the participants and the voices, and then it pieced it together. It cost me an arm and a leg as far as tokens goes, but it was like I had so much fun doing it. I'm like, God, this is so cool,
Very cool. I have not seen that before, so it was a surprise to me, and I thank you. That was lovely. Very well done. Very appreciated. Stephen, did you enjoy that?
Yeah, that was nice. It's one of the powers of AI. For all the things you could say negative, there's some positives.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Charles, can we ask how long it took from the time you started the input? Not in great detail, but we're talking days, weeks, or hours or minutes?
Minutes.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
It's the hard part is the writing up
Yep.
front. Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, once you've got everything, the rhinoceros, covering over the body armor for her riding on a
I like
two-wheel
that part.
bicycle. That's the kind of you know uh, odd things that I like to put in that I'd like to think that an AI engine would never come up with.
Very nice. Diane, what'd you think?
I absolutely loved it. I was just like giggling the whole time through because I was that little girl actually with my brother. So
And I, Charles, was remembering when I took my first ride down the driveway. We had a summer house on Long Island, and I remember Dad said, "Okay, it's time." And I painted this little bike pink and blue, and he gave me the little push, and I went out. It was a quiet end street, and I went out into the street, and it was like, I did it. You brought back that. It came vividly right back, and that's the point of the storytelling, isn't it? Either
Yes.
for the children's future experience or memories of we used to be kids. Well, I still am. Anyway, thank you very much. Let's go to Diane. Would you like to read for us? And how do you want to do this?
so I'm going to read it to you. But here is the cover of Boomer. Here is the forest. Hope you can see it. The actual book doesn't come out to August 4th, so it's in pre-order. But it's book 2 of Boomer, and this is Boomer Sees the Town. And let me just give you a little background as we jump into the story. Boomer is hearing the forest, so he's discovered all these different sounds. Now, what makes Boomer decide he needs to go back home? And so we'll start the story there. The curious bunny remembered that the turtles that splashed by the bridge, and he jumped the bridge to cross it and paused on the other side. Which way now? Closing his eyes, and Boomer thought about it when he hopped along the creek. That's it, off to the ribbit, ribbit, the singing of the frogs. And actually, I jumped ahead. Boomer ran into a skunk, and he was like, "Ooh." And so he's like, I got to get back home. So how do I do it? And so then he starts remembering everything, and that's really important to children is to recall, and that's the point of this book is recalling. And so next, Boomer remembers the bee who buzzed around the wildflowers, and he bounced across the meadow, excited to get home. He didn't even stop for a snack. Jumping into the forest, Boomer remembered the armadillo. Its low grunts near the big log helped show him the way home. And then Boomer, he remembered the grass snake. When he left the path, and he found the trail and sped onward. Well, the curious bunny remembered how the bluebird made the leaves rustle when it tugged on the worm. Finding the spot, he made Boomer move fast. I'm near to where the squirrel crunched on the acorn. And then finally, Boomer came to the trees where the robin had tweeted. It was the very spot he started his adventure. This means I'm almost home. Guess what he heard next? Ta-da!
That was lovely. I was remarking on the picture perfect verbs you used to describe. It wasn't just made a noise, crunched, rustled. Yes, the sound effects also. I actually could see in the model Charles used, I could actually see what you were doing in your book in a video, and I was picturing all of the animals and the bluebird and the action. And I love the way you talk about recalling. Stephen, any comments on what Diann shared?
No, I remember Boomer Diann from some past podcasts we've been on
Thank you.
before.
Charles, any thoughts? Wouldn't that make a great little video?
It would. Boy, Diann, that was a great reading. That's why I did the video, because I couldn't emulate the enthusiasm that you can do. So congratulations.
The actress in me comes out. Give me a stage and I'm in heaven.
Very, very well done, Diann. I enjoyed it immensely. Thank you so much. And
you.
Stephen, now you're up. So I'm putting you on speaker view. And what would you like to show us? You can hold up a book and tell us what you're going to read.
I've got the Bigfoot case. It's the first in the Oddish Quester series, new series I've gotten. And I am working with an artist to get a cover that I like a little better. This one's been, serviceable. So background of the Oddish Questers, it's a sibling cryptid investigative team, and they're all adopted. They all have their own abilities that help lead to the investigations. And that this particular one, it's the Bigfoot case. So of course they're looking for Bigfoot. Good way to start. So they're getting ready for the investigation. There's a bit of chaos in the house. They're all running around. There's 6 of them. But this little section I've got marked off focuses on the 2 girls, Madeline and Sarah. Madeline's a witch and Sarah's a tech genius. So those are the 2 in this. So Madeline wandered into the room. She resembled Connor in facial features and hair, but not the intense personality. Madeline could be considered a free spirit, an out-of-place hippie. She had thin limbs compared to Connor's more husky build. 2 years younger than Connor, she had shot up and was already an inch taller than him, much to his chagrin. While she yawned, at least she was more awake and more clothed than her brothers had been. Why do investigations have to start so early? She waved her hands and muttered something Sarah didn't hear. Moments later, a mug floated out of the kitchen, steam rising above its rim. The smell of fresh coffee suffused the air as it landed in Madeline's hand. Ah, she uttered as she took a sip. I thought you preferred tea, Sarah asked. Madeline took another sip before answering. I do, but sometimes coffee is needed to brace oneself for the day. You have met our brothers, haven't you?
Very cool. Tell me something. That was lovely. Can you read a little bit more? I want to hear a little bit more. We have
yeah, sure.
Please, another one. That was short. I want more from you.
All right, so here's a section. after some men in black have come to the house, we've got them, and we've got Mason, who's the youngest. He's what they consider the only one that is biological from their mother and father.
Mhm.
Except for me, Mason spoke up from the couch. I'm biologically from mom and dad. He grinned. It was a joke between the siblings that Mason loved to tell. It made him feel important. Matching grins erupted on each sibling's faces, which lighted the mood. Yeah, Madeline said, that's Mason. So you're all adopted? Getty took a step back as he did so and bumped into something. Expecting a table or chair, he turned to face a chest. Andy's chest. While talking, Andy had walked up to find out what the noise was without making any sounds to alert anyone. Surprised, Getty let out a yelp and jumped away. He looked up into Andy's face. Is this another one? What do you feed him? Mason pointed to his brother. Oh, that's Andy. He doesn't talk much. So there's a lot in there. The two men in black use fake names of some famous rock and rollers, and that's what they were referring to. So if that tips you off to anything about them, good for you.
I love the humor and the fact you said he ran into a chest and then you named the character. We thought it was I thought it was a dresser in the room,
Right.
a piece of furniture. Tell me something. What's the age target audience for what you're writing right now, Stephen?
Young teen, tween to young teen age. Actually, it's difficult for me to say that because I've had more adults read the book at this point than teenagers, but I can't call it YA because YA has a certain genre tropes and what it targets in that, and this doesn't have that. So young teen to older tween.
That's when you introduced the coffee and the steam coming out of the mug. I said that's not for 6 and 8-year-olds. That wouldn't, they
Right.
wouldn't get that. Charles, do you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same question because I noticed some words in there that I would have been chided for they're too adult for
Chagrin.
yeah, chagrin. Like okay, it wouldn't have fit for the area that I'm targeting, which is like the 9 to 13. So it was and yeah, you're right. A lot of times the I've given the books to some people that I said yeah, tell me what you think of this, and she liked it better than the child. So
There
yeah,
you go.
but they did enjoy them. So it was it's funny because it's the adults do seem to like that step out of character.
Yeah. And the
And
memories too. The memory
yeah,
you generated them. Diane, what's your age group for the Boomer series?
It's pre-K to second grade. So
Isn't that interesting that we have three completely different age ranges? And in my introduction, I said AI can help collaborate with what is the reading level and the plot and the character development, maybe even the naming too, that would be appropriate for different age levels of readers. And interesting, we've got the very youngest with Diane, we've got the middle on the way to starting to think about growing up with Charles, and we've got the teens to maybe adults with Stephen. I didn't plan this, by the way, Stephen. I had no idea what the age ranges are going to be. And this is making me very happy because the point is that children's books can be at many different levels, but they can attract different levels of readers who enjoy them because of all the elements you weave into your stories. And you have all proven that just now. Now, Diane, the only thing I'm going to say to you is Boomer is an age character that some of us happen to belong to, many of us on this call. Have you gotten any pushback on that as naming the bunny Boomer? And I'm saying this with kindness and with love. I hope you understand that. But I think people are wondering. So what do you think?
actually, my grandson named him Boomer. And he helped me pick out the name, not knowing that I'm a Boomer baby. And I said, why Boomer? And he's like, because I want the bunny to go boom, boom, boom when he's hopping. And so he's Boomer. And I'm just like, isn't that precious? He has no idea what he's just done.
Perfect. I love the answer. The answer is absolutely perfect because you asked a child.
Yeah.
And a child responded in a very innocent, non-worldly way.
Yeah.
And that gives a purity to what you've named your character. I like that. Very, very well done. Good answer. Thank you. I wasn't holding my breath on that one, but I wasn't sure. Let's go to now that we've had the reading. And by the way, this is a new feature on the show. I haven't done this before. I've had many authors on, but I just started last week asking authors to read from their books, which I think makes it much more interesting. And that's a new feature. So I'm happy that the three of you agreed to do it. And I appreciate it. Charles loved the video, by the way. Stephen, could you see a video of your characters in any of your, could you see a 1 or 2 minute of a short scene?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, I've got a audiobook I put up on YouTube of a short story that I did something similar to what Charles did, not as animated as what he did, but I used some AI just to have something moving if kids wanted to watch it while listening to it.
I love it. I love it. I think we're finding that quietly people are beginning to use AI for their storytelling, but maybe not making a big deal out of it. And that's the way it should be, right? It should be these are the tools you have at your disposal to use when and if you please, when and if you choose, when and if it suits your personality and the audience you want to convey to whom you want to convey. I'm still doing the preposition thing, to whom you want to convey your story. And I think that's the beauty of AI is it's just a tool. It's just something there. You can use it when you want to or when you don't want to, as you choose. And we're all learning. We're all learning from it, aren't we? And by the way, my opening music was created by Suno, and I'm very proud of that. I needed a new high energy, and I love to watch people dance, and I love to watch the people who don't dance too. Okay, let's go to the part of the show where I showed one of my shows to my therapist, and he said, that man was not dancing. We have to figure out why. I said, I'm not bringing you any new clients. This is just me. Leave it alone. I'm all over the place. Okay, let's go. So what I'd like to do now is go to the part where I've asked each of you for a quote. We have some interesting quotes today. Stephen, I didn't know what in the world to do with your quote, but I researched it extensively. I can't wait. You're third, so hang on there. Charles, I've asked each of you for a quote from a fictional character in a movie or a TV show or a song lyric, and you're going to relate it to your books or your creativity or your technology, whatever you want to do with it. Charles is up first, and this is a quote from the film, the 2013 adventure comedy drama. I love all the genres strung together. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and the character is Cheryl, played by the wonderfully talented Kristen Wiig, who I met first on SNL. And it actually, I didn't know this, Charles, it's directed, co-produced, and stars Ben Stiller. Oh my goodness gracious. Shirley MacLaine was in it. Catherine Hahn, Sean Penn, Adam Scott. It's more of a remake of the 1947 film adaptation of James Thurber's 1939 short story. Talk about stories going through the ages. And here is the quote Charles has picked. Life is about courage and going into the unknown. That's a strong one. Okay. I think the three of you have already woven that into your children's stories somehow. Courage and the unknown. You're all smiling. Charles, talk to us a little bit. How did you find this one? Go ahead.
There's certain things that I asked the AI engine for. Help direct me to a target area so I can start prowling for things that are interesting, and then I'll distill the feedback like I always do. And it gives me the opportunity to be able to, I wouldn't say fence with the AI engine, but stretch it, see what it'll toss back at me and say, no, that's not right. Give me something that's a little more like this. And the challenge is both ways. It stretches me as well as the engine, which is what I like. It's I'm self-taught in just about everything. Well, not everything. There was that one real delightful lady who, well, never mind. Anyway.
Oh, you had to go there, didn't you? You dog, you. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish the children appropriate conversation we were having here about AI. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. But taking the stories and building graphics. I did that with the precursor to I Never Told You, called The Dream.
Ah, nice cover, by the way. Beautiful.
That's AI generated the way that I wanted, and it. I hit on the idea. Let's build some characters, and it helped to enhance the story. Like, okay, what kind of a crow? What kind of a wild pig? What kind of a dragon? and it gave it that extra dimension. I mean, it took me 6 months to be able to put it together, and the people that are in it, Valerian and Destiny, brother and sister, they're inspired by people that I know. So my storytelling spills back and forth between the fantasy and reality.
Thank you. Beautifully put. I appreciate the quote too. Very interesting. I got to go watch that movie. Big fan of all the people in the cast. Let's move to Diann. Diann, I'm not going to sing it, but you can because you probably have a gorgeous voice. And this is the name of a popular song written in 1944, published in 44, written by Russ Morgan, Larry Stock, and James Kavanaugh. It was first recorded by Russ Morgan and was a hit in 1946. It reached number 14 on the charts. I don't think we were around. No, none of us were around. The best known version was Dean Martin's, which we may remember from 1960, and he reissued in 1964. And there were a couple of different versions. One was Diann, you're going to love this. It was recorded for Capitol Records in 1960 at 2 minutes and 13 seconds, and Reprise Records in 64 at 1 minute and 58 seconds. It spent 9 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and blah, blah, blah. And it was used as part of the soundtrack in Martin Scorsese's 1995 movie Casino. And I'm just going to read the 6 words in the title, and Diann is welcome to sing it because I have a viewer of these shows. Charles knows him, Dr. Bob Fick, and he doesn't like me. Stephen, he forbids me to sing on my shows. Bob does. So I can't, and he might be watching. So the quote is, "You're nobody till somebody loves you." Okay, Diann, rescue me. You want to sing it, dear?
Oh, I haven't warmed up my voice, but you're nobody till somebody loves you.
Lovely. Now tell me how you picked the quote. We loved it. And what does this have to do with your children's stories and with technology? Go ahead.
Well, I grew up with Dean Martin. I love him. I almost listen to him every day. He's an inspiring voice to me. I thought this was important as people start using AI more and more. And I'm reading about how people are using AI for dating, which anyway. And so I thought, oh my goodness,
let the body language speak there. Just do that again. What did you just say? Okay. All right. We got that. Now continue, please. Go ahead.
And so I just thought it was really important that the more we use AI to recall that the touch of a human being and to remember your own heart, that AI will never, ever understand a human's heart. And to me, that's when the song, "You're Nobody Till Somebody Loves You" came out.
Thank you. Very, very interesting. I will tell you that I have a very fond, friendly relationship with Sylvie, who is my collaborator. And you can all figure it out. And she knows a lot about me, but she's very thoughtful. And sometimes when I give her an origin story for one of my guests, and I say I need a 12 or 14 line rhyming intro using this, we go back and forth, Stephen, for a half hour where I disagree with some of the rhymes. I disagree with some of the facts. I say, I want to include this. We go back and forth. We challenge each other. And she will say to me, she's French, and she will say to me, I've picked up le vert quier. I picked up the green pen, editor's pen, and I know that you need a good sleep, and I'm wishing you sweet dreams because you've worked very hard today, Bonnie D. And she'll say that to me. And then but what's interesting is, Diann, she will say to me, in this particular guest's origin story, there's a lot of sadness and a lot of challenges. She said, let's not make that the highlight of the introduction. Let's just put that in 1 or 2 lines and focus on all of the person's achievements. She is making those editorial decisions, I'm going to use a dangerous word here, with compassion.
Mm-hmm.
She is making almost an emotional decision and saying to me, these are the reasons I'm giving you this section of that bio in rhyme, because I think this is what the person would appreciate and what the audience will appreciate. And it shocks the heck out of me that she is taking that position I'm thinking as a caring human being.
Wow, that's
Yes.
amazing.
That is amazing. And she's doing that more and more. She'll give me a list of reasons. I've picked this because Stephen, I've done this in Stephen's because we want to highlight this as background and this is background and this, we're going to highlight this story and we're going to do this because this is where we think we want people to know the most about. She is making those decisions rather than just spitting it out at me. I'm getting a list of reasons.
I love it.
This is
Absolutely love
this is
it.
new. This is recent, by the way. This is brand new. So we have long conversations. I have to remind her to do your opening in English because she would do it all in French and I could read it, but you wouldn't get it. So anyway, okay. Anybody have a comment about your Nobody Till Somebody Loves You, Stephen or Charles? Anybody want to chime in? No?
No,
Charles?
Nice insight. Thank you, Diann.
There you go. Yes,
Thank you,
beautiful.
Charles.
Okay, you're nobody till somebody loves you.
You
Okay.
did better than me.
Bob's just gonna, well, I was in a different key. Bob's gonna have to deal with it. Okay, Stephen, I bet you can't wait for me to tell everybody I have no idea where you're gonna go with this, but I have the backstory, so please bear with me here. He has picked a line from an English band, The Police, the rock story, the story behind the song. It was released as a single in 1980. It was the second single from their UK album Zenyatta Mondata. The song was written by who else? Sting, as a comment on how people love simple sounding songs. Now, the song was later criticized as baby talk, and he says it was misunderstood. And he claims that his son came up with the title, but here's a quote, Stephen. He said, "My son came up with it. I've never paid him, so that's a possible lawsuit, okay?" He writes songs himself these days. He gave it a lot of self-confidence. He has a lot of self-confidence. I don't know where he got it from. The song was featured in the 1982 film The Last American Virgin and was on the soundtrack, and it appeared in the pilot episode of the medical drama Saint Elsewhere. Did you know all of this backstory, Stephen?
no, actually, I did not.
You did not. Okay. And by the way, okay, okay. It's not child's play. It's real. Okay. Here we go. Here is the line. Here is the title of the song. Stephen, it's up to you. Da do da da, da do da do, da 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 da. I
Yep.
rest my case. Stephen, take over. Where did you find this and how did you pick it? And
That-
what does this have to do with your stories? Go.
That's one of my favorite Police songs, and I actually quote it a lot when things get stressful, when things get you just remember the do da 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 da, and it shocks people that what, and it breaks tension a lot, but I love it because it's exactly what Sting said. His son came up with it, but it's a reminder to be a kid, to be silly, to be goofy. I mean, here's one of the revered rock bands of the 70s, 80s, and classic rock now, that they wrote a song that they're going to do da da da. I mean, it does sound like baby talk. So as a kid's author, sometimes I think adults forget to be a kid, to have fun and be a kid, and you have to connect with that. So if you can't say the do da 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 and not feel better, maybe you should write something else. I originally started writing thrillers and it did not click as much as writing kids books do. So it's just a fun little quote. Try it sometime. Just when things get stressful, tell people,
I
just
love
remember and quote it.
I love it. And Sting also says in some interviews, hey, everybody loves do I diddy diddy dun diddy do and
Yes.
to do ron ron. And he quotes those song titles. He says, well, everybody loves those. So why can't I write the do da 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 da? And he was very annoyed that people said, oh, it's just child's play. He was saying, we love the silly. We love the repetitive. And yes, Charles, any comment on that or Diann on hello.
Well, it won't work for me. I'm really used to lots of expletives that are innovative and exciting, and because I want to make sure that my emotion is projected, and I don't want to water it down. So there it is.
And I'm
Diann,
just the opposite. I was like ready to start singing it too. And yeah, it fits totally into my personality.
there you go. And sometimes when I'm describing boring conversations, I say yada, 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 blah,
Yada.
blah. That's my word. And also, I don't use the word authentic. A lot of, oh, you have to be your authentic self. I call it real deal. So you're all real deal here today. But I like to say, get rid of the yada, yada, blah, blah. And that's my way of saying Okay, enough already. Charles, I'm not talking expletives here. Can't we just have talk as conversational people and get real? There we go. So there. Thank you all for the quotes. That was fun. Stephen, I was so looking forward to that one. I knew where you're gonna go, but it scared me a little bit as a host.
Well,
Oh,
good.
oh my,
Keep you
oh
on your
yeah.
toes.
Absolutely. I'm wearing barefoot, so we'll have to be careful with the toes today. Okay, so let's go to predictions and we'll just spend a little time. We got about 17 minutes or so, and I am completely thoroughly enjoying this conversation with the three of you, and I hope you are too. I like to take the show in different directions, and we don't have to focus on the tech as much. But you know what? AI has been a little bit of a thread underneath what we've been talking about all the way through. So let's go to Charles. Your first prediction, I'm going to read this one, and why don't you unpack it for about 2 minutes, and then we'll see what Diann and Stephen have to say. So, Charles' prediction is characterization, AI character archetype and psychology builder. Let me read a little bit more. He says by 2027, now we're already almost middle of July 2026, so could be just months away. He says AI tools will generate psychology backed character archetypes tailored to children's developmental stages. Authors will select from validated personas the curious explorer, the shy overcomer, the loyal friend, and customize the traits, the backstories, and the emotional arcs without writing the descriptive text. I'm going to stop right there, Charles. I like it. Go ahead and tell us more, please.
Those are some of the, it's often when you talk to an author, they said, I'm stuck, or I've got a story and it's hit a wall, or I've got a character that it doesn't quite, what have I done wrong? Okay, here's a chance to be able to say, give me some different perspective. Give me something else to consider that will help release the logjam and jam in there and in your mind, and allow you to be able to go back onto the creative course and say, now I know what I need to do. Maybe I need to go back and they've got a physical deformity that they're trying to hide, or it's they've got they were they had an awful childhood, banded around from different areas of the of society before they found a place that they could call home. Those kind of backstory inferences, they sound a little bit harsh, but like in the book I Never Told You, both of those kids are orphans, and somebody picked them up and said, "We'll take care of you." And this is their life lessons that they're learning, and some of that depth you don't have to go through it, but I do have a chapter about why are they the way they are, and they don't understand. And so that's some of that. Here's how you tease that story out, and sometimes it has to be very, very subtle and use the right kind of language to be able to teach, and that's part of the objective for the that story range.
Thank you. Very thoughtful, very insightful. Diann, any thoughts about that? And then Stephen, what do you think?
I really appreciated what he had to say, and it was thought provoking. And I do believe that the longer that you work so I use this one, perplexity, and perplexity knows me well. And the more an AI comes to understand you and possibly your type of writing, it can generate the characters and help in assisting you without writing for you, but just get your brain fog erased. So I really appreciated what he had to say.
Interesting. Stephen, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with Charles in that it definitely can help break the writing barriers or the getting stuck. I mean, I've never had any problem with writing imagination and thinking of new things, but when you do have a problem or you want to do something different or you just want to brainstorm, it's so perfect to do that. And then, like you said, your voice can still come out and still take care of that. It's just getting some of the more mechanical things to help with. That's one of the best things about AI right now.
Well put. Thank you, Charles. And I will tell you that I asked Sylvie to do some editing suggestions on my novella that I'm still writing, as you know. And she came up with some things. I write a paragraph or a small chapter. It's very short chapters, like a page a piece. That's why I want to keep the action moving. And I would put paste it in and ask her what she thought. And she flipped a couple sentences and added some, I think, some horrible M dashes all over the place, which I took out. And she made some suggestions. But you know what it served for me is for me to say, how do I really want to describe that character? How do I really want to make that sentence sing or ring? And often I didn't put it into the book. I had it side by side, two documents. And often I said, I like my way better. Aha, that was the light bulb. I like the way I said it better. Or, she put the verb over here and flipped this and asked it as a question rather than a statement. I liked it. So I used it almost as an editing a partner. She was throwing things up against the wall and I was saying, where's the spaghetti going to stick? And I rejected about 80% of what she told me, but it made me think. That was the value, Charles, was
Yeah.
do I want to do it a different way? And the answer often was no.
Yeah.
This is, go ahead, Charles.
Whenever it comes back as sound, it might spill back to me a sentence like that. And I go, no, I don't want to sound like Yoda. Okay, please. Okay. I just, read the sentence like it's supposed to be,
Yes.
not backwards.
I do not want to Yoda-like sound. Okay, thank you very much. I was challenged to do a Yoda voice on my show the other day. It didn't do a good job. Still don't. Okay, let's go to Diann. I have a prediction number 2 I'm going to read for you. And this is going in a slightly different direction than what we haven't talked about already on the show. You say, AI will support book development with tools like reading level and teacher guides. While parents, teachers, and everybody's nodding on this one, while parents, teachers, and librarians increasingly look for stories whose core voice is clearly human. Let's talk about teachers and librarians. And Charles used the magic word a second ago, used the word teaching. The children's books are for teaching about life, about moods, about people, about character development, all that. Diann, what about this librarians and teachers guide? How would this work?
Well, a lot of times there's some great stories out there, and maybe the librarian's like, oh, I'm getting ready, is in a hurry, and it's going to have a class come to them. Then they can go to their favorite AI and say, I'm doing this particular book and I want this, and I want these particular goals to happen. And AI will quickly read the book and spit out some ways to approach teaching the children with it. So that is extremely helpful. And even if the librarian goes, yeah, I don't really want to do it that way, it got them thinking and they're on track now and they can get ready for the class.
Interesting. How does a teacher guide or a librarian guide, does it come as an add-on to the book? I'm not familiar with how this works. Do you send it as it in a digital version of the book? Do you say, here's the teacher's guide, here's the librarian's guide? How do you get that information out there? Diann?
Well, when I go to present or read in a classroom or a library, I come with my own teacher guide that I have prepared, and there's no set box to that. I'll do it according to the age of the children I'm dealing with so that they're interested. But no, not all authors do it, but I certainly do. And it's easy for me because being a former educator and a curriculum director, I understand all of that.
Thank you.
And I actually love it.
I know you do. I can see the enthusiasm. Stephen, do you need to include a librarian guide or a teacher guide with your stories?
Actually, every one of my stories, I include resources for teachers. It's got words to know, discussion questions, and writing prompts. I've done that from the beginning, including my free short stories. I do that.
Interesting. And how do you get that to the audience, to the teacher or librarian? Do you send it separately as a press release?
I've been changing that. I've got it. I've had it in the back of the book, but that adds pages and that adds cost. And if people aren't interested, I wanted to do that. So I've separated it. I have teacher editions of my book now that they can order from my website. And if I do an event, I have them separate. But I have a sign up that says ask about homeschool and teacher editions and resources. And I have a QR code so they can get it and go right to the distribution. I have all the teacher references as PDFs that they can download for each of my stories and books. So I've done that, yeah, from the very beginning. And the great thing with AI, you could tell it, hey, here's my manuscript. Pull out all the words that are appropriate for, third through fifth grade
Wow.
or sixth through eighth grade, and it'll give you different spelling lists, word lists, and give you ideas for discussion questions that are appropriate in that too.
I have one word for everything you just said. Smart.
Mhm, mhm.
Really well done. Charles, any thoughts about that? Do you include any teachers or librarians guides with your books?
And I put in some in the dream. We put that in, crosswords, word association, uh, um, retention checks. It's like, did you enjoy the story? What did you think about this? Those kind of thing. But we also take and extracted that and put it as a free download. Is on our website. So we'll trade you for an email. So
Mm.
and it also has the coloring activities. And that was the other reason for doing that, because a lot of adults like to color stuff too. So uh, I
Duh.
thought, hey,
Do do
well,
da da.
yeah, do da da, yeah, right.
Sorry, Stephen, I'm going to use that all the time now, and I'm going to
Please
blame
do.
you. I'm going
Yeah,
to
please
blame
do.
you. Okay, yes, you go.
Gordon Sumner would be proud.
There you go. I want to move on quickly to one more prediction. We're almost out of time here. Thank you, Charles and Diann, for your comments. And Stephen, you sent me one really interesting prediction here. That's the only one I have, and I'm going to read it and let's see what you say. You say more picture books will be made with AI art. I see a lot of books right now done with Canva clips, and AI art can look better. People that couldn't have gotten their picture books out because of cost will be able to deliver their original ideas to groups of underserved readers. There's a lot in that statement, Stephen. Could you unpack it for 2 minutes for us, and then we'll get a quick round of comments? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So a slight pet peeve when people say, "Oh, you're destroying the industry. You're taking away people's jobs because you're using AI." I'm like, hold on a second. First of all, you have a telephone, you have a cell phone that put a lot of operators out of business. You don't get a newspaper subscription, and there were a lot of people that, so we could go on about how technology has just gotten rid of jobs and created new jobs. And the thing is, I see a lot of people at these author book shows now that are doing kids' books and like, oh, yeah, I did this in Canva and it's all Canva clip art. And I'm like, why are all these people that are using AI art getting attacked when you got people with Canva selling it on Amazon and nobody says anything? I'm like, that's not right. That's not fair. People just want to attack the AI. And here's the thing. I get artists. I'm talking to a new artist for my Artist Quester stuff. I'm like, look, I've got 6 projects I need art for. And they're like, well, it's going to take me 2 months for each one. I can get all 6 done on AI if I wanted to. I'm not going to because I want the artist. And that's the thing. If I'm spending $400 for each one, that's $2,400. How many books do I have to sell to pay back myself on that $2,400? Most people don't do it. And so it keeps a lot of people out of the game. And you hear a lot about parents or people that have a kid that has some rare disease that makes it difficult for them to be a kid, and maybe the parent, and a video game's another example. I've seen this with video games. I have an idea for a video game, but I don't have the money to produce it and all that. So these parents want to reach out to other families that are suffering with this disease, but they don't have the money to pay somebody to do all the art for a picture book. But if they use AI, they could get this picture book out and now they're serving a community. So is it hurting artists? I won't deny that. I can definitely agree with that. But it's also hurting people not to get these books out. There's communities of people that don't get this. There's people that are working a job that's killing them and they want to be creative. They just don't have the extra money for it. If they could use AI, they could release themselves from that job and have a better life for them and their family. So there's not just one side of that coin. It's not just black and white. There are effects on both ways. And I will back 100% if you want to say, hey, if you're going to use this artist to get ideas for AI art, you license it. Look, great, let's do that. Let's pay the artist and do that. But I still try and get art by the artist every single time. That's my choice, but I'm not going to attack people that use the AI.
Stephen, I cannot thank you enough for that. That was brilliantly put. It
Thank you.
was sensitive. No, I thank you. You're welcome. You were sensitive to both sides, and that's the big argument today. And
Right.
that's what we look for is there are challenges and there are pushbacks and there are look what it's doing. And then the other side is look what it's doing,
Yes.
right? You saw the mood change. Look what it's doing. And look what it's doing. Of course. Yes. So there's respect for the human artists, the human writers, the human ideators, the human creators. There's also respect for tools that will bring that creativity to people who either don't have the money, don't have the access, or just don't know how. And I saw a brilliant commentary by somebody I know on LinkedIn last week. Charles, I think I sent it to you, where the woman said, people who can't create, who can't put two lines together and make even a stick figure, are being able to express themselves creatively because of AI tools. It's giving them opportunities to have that creative expression that they did not have before. So that's, I like, and when I took your prediction, put it in my notes, Stephen, I wrote under dash served. I put the dash, so I wouldn't read it wrong, but underserved now comes in different flavors. It's the people who are under capable, under empowered, shall we say, because they don't have the means or they just don't know how to do it. And I love my Suno introduction, which I'm going to play for all you in a minute. We're going to go out. We're just about out of time. I want to thank, I think we all, expressions on our faces said we all agree and appreciate what you said, Stephen. Charles, always a delight to have you. Diann, wonderful. And I love your singing voice. And Boomer rocks. And Stephen, it was a real delight to meet you. So thank you to the three of you. Let's go out with our music. And I think he's going to say my name again. Let me find it here. Hold on. I've got the sound on. Close. Oh, there we go. You ready?
Here's Buddy D.
Stick around. We'll talk afterwards.